I think one important thing is to see it in the context of the problem of teachers and teaching in India particularly. It's possible other developing countries share this, but I think in India particularly, I think the problem of teachers and teaching is grounded in the socio-cultural reality as well as an economic reality. Socio-cultural reality in the sense that teachers are by and large a disenfranchised, disempowered community in India. Particularly because historically it's been it may be the colonial rule, but also there's also the caste system which has actually colored and influenced the education system in India. So that problem of teachers and teaching is evident when you ask a teacher a question. When you ask a teacher a question, how do you teach, or what is the purpose of teaching, they will say in order that every child learns and understands and becomes a good citizen. But their practice does not necessarily reflect what they say. So there's a big gap between what they say and what they actually do. And that is a serious problem in India. And to be able to tackle that is not an easy job. Okay. So I think how do we begin to do this? The way we've been training teachers is for the teacher to get comfortable. To get comfortable in such a way that she's willing to be short and is reasonably natural, we've had to do a lot of demonstration classes in her own class. We've done per teacher, we're working with about 60 teachers currently in these 5 schools, 65 teachers, and we've done at least 5 to 8 demos in each of the teachers' classes. In other words, we demonstrate and role model good practice. And then after that, we've been sitting with the teachers and planning lessons together, keeping in mind active learning, keeping in mind complete greater engagement of students in the learning process, keeping in mind better assessment methods. After that, we then get the teachers to actually teach, and we observe. If you notice in that class, there was one of our TTA facilitators actually observing the class. And then after that, if I had had more time, I would have actually shown you the actual feedback process where we get the teacher to reflect on how she taught, what she thought about the lesson. In fact, we have a checklist which we use, and I think MPRIL has been using it for rating schools, but we are using it also to get teachers to reflect on what she did and how else she could have done. And after that, we're then going to move into team teaching, where the TTA facilitator, the teacher foundation facilitator, as well as the teacher will teach together. Now we're not doing that before the teacher herself tries out some of these practices. So we need to help her to get a little bit of confidence. We need the teacher to be a lot more confident and comfortable trying out methods which are alien to her before we actually start teaching with her. And then after that, we hope there is a certain amount of embedding of learning. It's actually far more deep-seated, the learning of good teaching practice. So that's all I have to say. I just want to end with a particular quote from one of the facilitators. This is the TTA facilitator's first impression. The heavy, somber air grips this facilitator as she steps into the crowded hall where she realizes the school has assembled for the morning prayer, the only time the whole school comes together. Children stand in neat rows, all of them with their hands held at the back, as if the freeing of the hands might spell some imminent danger to the grim, stern adults who face them. I wonder what battles these rather stoic adults had to fight at home to make them look so unbearably glum so early in the morning. And then the affirmation comes in small but reassuring ways. A few weeks later, the spark in the eyes of the same children during a demonstration lesson, when a so-called dumb child asks question, the smile of an aha moment in the eyes of a disinterested teacher, when she recognizes and appreciates something new, when a teacher burnt out by an unimaginative and heavy schedule of 7 classes waits after school to have a word with the facilitator out of their own free will, to find out how to go about creatively while planning for her next lesson. When a teacher comes back starry-eyed with stories of an interesting activity that she has tried out in the class, showing in small but touching ways their heartfelt gratitude and appreciation. the realization dawns somehow, no matter how tough and long and tedious the journey, one just has to begin.